A yoke is a wooden beam normally used between a pair of oxen or other animals to enable them to pull together on a load when working in pairs, as oxen usually do. Some yokes are fitted to individual animals. There are several types of yoke used in different cultures, and for different types of oxen. A pair of oxen may be called a yoke of oxen, and yoke is also a verb, as in to yoke a pair of oxen. Other animals that may be yoked include horses, mules, donkeys, and water buffalo. Etymology. The word yoke is believed to derive from Proto-Indo-European *yugam, from verb *yug. This root has descendants in almost all known Indo-European languages including German Jock, Latin yugam, Ancient Greek zeta upsilon gamma omicron, New Persian, Sanskrit, Hittite, Old Church Slavonic, Lithuanian jungas, Old Irish gewing, Armenian, etc. The verb to subjugate derives from the Latin form neck a bow yoke. A bow yoke bow is a shaped wooden crosspiece bound to the necks of a pair of oxen. It is held on the animal's necks by an oxbow, from which it gets its name. The oxbow is usually U-shaped and also transmits force from the animal's shoulders. A swivel between the animals, beneath the center of the yoke, attaches to the pole of a vehicle at a chains used to drag a load. Bow yokes are traditional in Europe, and in the United States, Australia and Africa. Head yoke. A head yoke fits onto the head of the oxen. It usually fits behind the horns, and has carved-out sections into which the horns fit. It may be a single beam attached to both oxen, or each ox may have a separate short beam. The yoke is then strapped to the horns of the oxen with yoke straps. Some types fit instead onto the front of the head, again strapped to the horns, and ox pads are then used for cushioning the forehead of the ox. A tug pole is held to the bottom of the yoke using yoke irons and chains. The tug pole can either be a short pole with a chain attached for hauling it, or a long pole with a hook on the end that has no chain at all. Sometimes the pole is attached to a wagon and the oxen are simply backed over this pole. The pole is then raised between them and a backing bolt is dropped into the chains on the yoke irons in order to haul the wagon. Head yokes are widely used in southern Europe, much of South America, and in Canada. Withers yoke. A withers yoke is a yoke that fits just in front of the withers, or the shoulder blades, of the oxen. The yoke is held in position by straps, either alone or with a pair of wooden staves either side of the ox's withers. The pull is, however, from the yoke itself, not from the staves. Withers yokes particularly suits Zebu cattle, which have high humps on the withers. Withers yokes are widely used in Africa and India, where Zebu cattle are common. Comparison. Although all three yoke types are effective, each has its advantages and disadvantages. Is mentioned above, withers yokes suits Zebu cattle, and head yokes can of course only be used for animals with suitable horns. Head yokes need to be reshaped frequently to fit the animal's horns as they grow. Unlike other types, a single beam head yoke fixes the heads of the oxen apart, helping them to stand quietly without fighting. A single beam head yoke may offer better braking ability on downhill grades and appears to be preferred in rugged mountainous areas such as Switzerland, Spain and parts of Italy. Bow yokes need to be the correct size for the animal, and new ones are often made as the animal grows, but they need no adjustment in use. Whichever type is used, various lengths of yoke may be required for different agricultural implements or to adjust to different crop spacings. Single yoke. A yoke may be used with a single animal. Oxen are normally worked in pairs, but water buffalo in Asian countries are commonly used singly, with the aid of a bow-shaped withers yoke. Use of single bow or withers yokes on oxen is documented from North America, China, Zimbabwe, Tanzania and Switzerland, and several designs of single-headed four-head yoke are recorded in Germany. Symbolism. The yoke has connotations of subservience and toiling. In some ancient ancient cultures it was traditional to force a vanquished enemy to pass beneath a symbolic yoke of spears or swords. The yoke may be a metaphor for something oppressive or burdensome, such as feudalism, imperialism, corvée, tribute, or conscription, as in the expressions the Norman yoke, the Tartar yoke, or the Turkish yoke. The metaphor can also refer to the state of being linked or chained together by contract or marriage, similar to a pair of oxen. The yoke is frequently used metaphorically in the Bible, first in Genesis regarding Esau. In the 20th century, the yoke and arrows became a political symbol of the Falange political movement in Spain. Gallery.